Right, you can see a couple of pot pies, or pies we just call them in Australia. Just sprayed the bottom of these, well, they're like little cake containers, so it's going to be a big pie. Just spray them with a little bit of olive oil. So I've got two more to do, so I thought I'd show you how I'm doing it. What I'm doing is just cutting around, leaving a little bit of excess. Whoops, didn't do that one too good. All sorted out there. This is just going to be the bottom. And then I'm going to run around an edge as well. Nothing fancy. You'll see here, in here is the mix I'm going to actually put in the pies, which is braised beef, beans, peas, corn, garlic, and there's a little bit of curry sauce that I've put in there. So they're going to be like a curry pie. So I don't know whether you can get to this, but roughly go into the center of the pan. All I'm doing is lining the bottom with a little lip. I'll show you that in a sec. So if you look in there, you can see it's a bit rough, but you can see how the bottom is not just on the bottom, but there's a little lip coming up, because what we're going to do now is cut a strip, probably about that wide. No precise measurements. And I already know this is going to be a little short. So this is going to overlap the bottom as we go around. And you'll be thinking, wow, what's he doing? Well, you'll see in a sec. I'm just going to bend that a little bit. Now, I'm just going to, I don't know if you can get in there, I'm using my thumb just to run the pastry on top of the other pastry. This is short crust pastry. And because it's quite a big, deep pie, I love using flaky, but unfortunately it's just too deep for that, so I'm going to use a short crust. Right, you can see what I've done. I've just overlapped the bottom, and I'm a little bit short, so we need to get probably use a bit of the old one. Just roughly need the same again, just to overlap. We don't need that much. Okay, you can see what I'm doing. Just overlapping the bottom. Alright, so I need to just run that into, not the side bit, I need to run that into the other pastry, or your pie will split. It'll be all yucky. Or they still may split. We don't know yet. I've never made them in such a deep pot before. Alright, so there's the base of the pie done. Now you're going to put in, and I'm telling you, this is unbelievably delicious. It's braised beef, some vegetables, oh, and some mushrooms, of course. And top that nearly up to the top. Maybe just a touch more. Of course, you make your own pies the way you want to. Just showing you what I do. Now we need to put a lid on. There's the pie, it's all scraggly, and now what we're going to do is just put a lid on the top. Just going to press around it first, and now we're going to cut the edge off. Then you'll start seeing how it looks when it's nearly finished. Like I say, these are something my wife picked up. They're quite thick, that's 2 inches, 2 and a bit easy. Alright, here's a little fork. All I'm doing is pushing the top part of the crust into the bottom bit, so it forms a nice neat pie. So that's how you make a pot pie, they call these in the US. I think we just call them pies in Australia. It used to be a fairly traditional meal. Go to the footy, have a pie. Of course you need a few breathing holes. Alright, so that's going up with that one. And I will then finish the other one and come back and show you what I do before I put them in the oven. Alright, all the pies are made up now. Now you can use egg, or you can use egg and milk. I just like put a bit of milk on the top. That'll help with the colour when she's cooking in the oven. I'm just glazing the top of the pies. Okay. You can be fairly generous with this, it will all cook off or brown off. Now, You can be fancy. I'm going to show you if you look. This is just some offcuts. What I'm going to do is just cut some fancy things that look like leaves. Nothing that special, but they do come up nice when they're cooked. So that's a leaf, and then just put down the veins like so. You can get really fancy with these sort of things, but that will then just go on top. And all I do with that is glaze that. Now these are going to go onto a tray. I'm just going to get that tray and show you. It's just as part of the oven. It's an oven tray. The pies will sit on that. They're going to cook at about 210 Celsius, probably for about 15 to 20 minutes. And then I may turn it down a bit because they're very thick pie, but I'll tell you how that goes. So I'll just mess around, put a few more decorations on these, and then they'll go in the tray like that. And next time you see them, they should be cooked. So let's see what happens. All right, they've come out of the oven. They are warm. I'll just show you what it looks like coming out of the oven. All right, still pretty warm. Just undo that section. And like I say, that's like a cheesecake mould, or a bloody big muffin mould, I suppose, but that's how we cooked it in there. And that's the finished product. Obviously there's a little tray underneath. See all that patchwork that I had with the pastry? It's worked out fine. Hasn't split open or leaked, but that is how you make a pie, or in America they call them pot pie. That's about 4 inches across, 2 and a bit inches high, and that's a big meal, trust me. So if you have been, thank you for watching.